live on Instagram. This meeting is being live streamed. All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Good. Well, and I just want to say hello to people who are watching us on Facebook in replay or live, or will be watching us live and or replay. And hello, Instagram. Today, we are here for another episode of Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life. This is the show for you guys so that we can all stay re-inspired, because sometimes, as you know, it's easy to get stuck. It's easy to get into overwhelm and really have no idea how to move forward. So that's why I bring different experts in different areas to get us unstuck. And today it's a special edition, or the episode of this show, because my guest is joining us all the way from London. From England. And you can see, if you are on Hummingbird Academy Today page on Facebook, you can see her. That's a beautiful human being, shining throughout, right? Inside out, beautiful. And her name is Martina K. And on Instagram, guys, you will not be able to see Martina, but you will hopefully get the clear audio of her wisdom. So before we go any further, let me read a little bit of the official bio for Martina. Martina K is a clarity alignment coach, helping you become an inspiring leader and master of life you love. Her constant search for happiness and money left her broke, miserable, and lonely in a foreign country. That was when she realized that real transformation starts within. So she mastered the formula to fulfillment. Her search has turned into a mission. Today, she is helping other women find their unique path and fulfilling careers they love, and get handsomely paid for it by working with individuals, small groups, and running powerful workshops. She teaches the importance of self-awareness, mastering yourself and your inner world as the core solution to most problems. And I can just tell you that Martina and I were connected on Facebook, out of all places, right? What an unusual place to connect nowadays, especially in the post-pandemic or still pandemic world. And I'm so glad that you reached out, and we absolutely immediately clicked, because I knew you were one of these people who are bringing so much light and love and your personality into this world. So I'm really curious about our conversation today. Welcome to the show, Martina.
Thank you for such a warm welcome and a great introduction. And honestly, thank you for connecting with me, because to be honest, I'm not a big fan of social media, but I use it mostly for the work and to inspire and empower others. So I'm really honored to be connected with you and to share the message and inspire others, help to share the mission and the message which we have.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. You know what? I just a quick check with Instagram. I'm not sure we're live. Let me see if we're having trouble starting your live video. Okay, well, technology would be technology. Yeah, so if all right, so there's something going on with the connection on Instagram. It's okay, it's totally fine. We're gonna continue, and you guys, if you're watching us on replay, you can also catch the full interview on YouTube later on and on LinkedIn. So there's so many places to connect. Martina, my first question, as I always ask all guests, what is your big dream? It doesn't have to be one. If you have more than one, go for it. And it could be personal or business related, or what's on your mind?
Well, the first thing which comes to my mind is actually what I'm working on, my mission, and it's all connected also with my dream. And that is to live my ideal day every day.
Oh, yes. So could you describe your ideal day?
My ideal day is to do what I love, get paid for it, while I travel the world and work with people who actually are like-minded. We are connected and helping each other, so we can actually create a better world for all of us.
Yes, absolutely. So let's just dive right in. What do you use? Because the first thing you said, do what I love. So what do you absolutely love doing?
That's kind of is good question, which is so closely connected to how I found my path. And I'm so passionate about personal growth and the transformation, how to make a transformation in all areas of life and have a better quality of life.
Yes. Is it okay for me to just interject for a second? I looked at your website, and there is a section on Martina's website, which I strongly recommend that you guys go check out. It's called About Martina K, right? About Martina K. And the section with the book selection that you have, the books that have inspired you, I was surprised. That's why I'm saying there's no coincidences in this life. Most of them, I would say 85% of the books that you list, I've read them, and I strongly believe that they've transformed my life significantly. A lot of people nowadays are talking about transformation, and it's very, very difficult to distinguish who is a real pro at what they are doing and who is just talking about it and they don't really understand exactly what they are doing. That's why I just want to really dig into your story. What led you to the work that you do, so that then we can get to this clarity, because I love it that you are the clarity expert. Okay, so what's the story behind it? How did you?
Well, the whole story started probably 6 years ago when I was living back in Slovakia, so my original country where I come from. And I finished my master degree. And that was something which actually I was waiting for a long time, and I was working like full time while studying. And so eventually,
master's degree in what?
A master degree from adult education, andragogy. And eventually, when I finished and could finally grab the job which I always wanted to work, I had kind of like the feeling that that's not what I want to do, because I could see myself, ahead, like in 10 or 15 years, probably in different company, different position, but it still would be kind of like the same life. And at that point, I had no idea what was wrong with me or with the whole situation. But it's something deep inside of me just told me that no, that's not for me. So I packed myself, left everything behind, and came to London, just with the intention and the idea to completely change my life. But at that point, I still had no idea what I was looking for or what I wanted. But of course, with the change in the country, your life doesn't change yet. And so I just copied what I knew the best. So I found a job. So because I had to survive, I had to pay my bills. And the old new way kind of living just was copied and pasted, just in a new country. And after probably like 2 years or a year and a half, I remember still that moment when it was like typical dull, rainy morning, and it was Monday morning when I woke up. And I had that kind of like the feeling when I just didn't want to go to work. And I asked myself, I was just about to cry, and I asked myself, what the heck am I doing here? Because I was broke, I was hardly surviving, I was doing the job which I honestly didn't like. And I didn't have friends, I didn't have family around, and I was so miserable. And at that point, I just knew that something has to change. And it's not about making the change either to change the company or the position or the country, but something else. And at that point, I decided, well, at least let me do at least something what I really love doing. And that was reading books about personal growth, which I always loved reading, but for some reason, because I got caught up in life, I just forgot about that part. And it's so easy, you know, to really dismiss those little things which bring us joy. So I got back to reading those books, and that was honestly just one joy which I had left. So I was reading more and more. And as I was searching for more information, I found the conference, which opened new opportunities for me. And that led me to another step and another step, meeting new people. And so my journey started this way. But honestly, that was just kind of the beginning, because after that, many trials and errors continued. But yes, I would definitely recommend, you know, maybe many people can resonate with this because they are in the similar situation and they don't know how to start or where to go from this. And I honestly believe that the joy, the things or activities which bring you the joy, they are your key to something bigger.
Could you speak to the journal that you have on your website and the mug and the message on them? Yeah. I really loved it. So please tell everybody what it is.
Yes, well, the main message, which I always share also, you know, either the emails or any kind of blog or post, I always remind everyone that it all starts with you. Mm-hmm. And that's honestly the main message which I would love to put out there, because the whole world is not exactly, you know, the ideal place. And we know that there are plenty of things which are great, but also plenty of things which can be improved. And we want to make that impact and the change, because we all want to live in a better place. But that little thing, any kind of change starts with you, and especially within, because most of the time it's all about the change of the perceptions. And if we change how we look at things, then all things will change as well.
Yes, it's from Wayne Dyer. Well, I don't think he's the original, is the author of that phrase. Like, if we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. I just love that phrase. Yes, but sometimes you're so true. I mean, so right that when you're saying that when we ourselves, it's so easy to uplift other people because you're kind of, it's from Les Brown, right? You can't look at the picture when you are in the frame. So when it's about others, we are kind of in the museum looking from the outside of what's happening with people, and it's easy to estimate and help that other person if you're willing to, but easier not. You still need to know what you're doing, and that's when mentors and coaches and great teachers and gurus come along. But when it happens to us and we find ourselves in a situation, then just like you said, exactly like you said, we forget these little things that we advise other people to do, right? And your brain is a very special mechanism. So what's the way out of it? So what was it, a specific process that you used for yourself? You said you went to, you found the seminar, you studied, and again, it was a journey, right? So it's not like boom and that's it. But then I know you developed this very interesting, detailed process that I would love to hear about. And it's the clarity, right? The clarity.
Yeah. Well, as I said, you know, like it's finding new information, new environment, and new people. That was just the beginning of my journey, which led me to new opportunities. But I had a big struggle just to find out which one is the right one for me. Because there are so many opportunities which look nice, shiny, and they have big promises, and obviously they all of them work if we commit to them and we are willing to do work. But the question one, like that nothing is just like overnight success. And at the beginning, I have to be honest that I was desperate because I was almost broke and I was desperate to earn some money. So I was jumping from one opportunity to another because I had also not understanding about myself and which one actually should I commit to. And on the other side, it was a great journey for me because now I'm able to help others. So I have developed the process. But let me share about this when actually it all started, when I realized. And it was, I will tell you a little story because it was probably 2 years after I started my journey and jumping from one opportunity to another and investing all money and hoping that everything will change finally and get a big client and then will roll over, will change everything. And I remember I was going to the gym one morning and it was beautiful sunny morning, but I was there, to release my stress, the anger which I felt because the opportunity which I was hoping for will work out. It didn't work out for me. So big promise again, and I was so angry and furious. And on the way, I was kind of like praying, and I was like really praying, just give me the help, please. Just show me, the advice, give me the sign what to do as a next. Because I was honestly, I didn't know what to do next. And I was really like completely broke. And so on the way back, I bought peaches. It was summer, a beautiful sunny day, and in London it's very exceptional. So I bought peaches, and it seemed like a perfect day, summer day. And as I was eating those peaches, I broke my front tooth. And that for me, it was like the breaking.
The last straw, right?
Exactly. It was like last straw because I didn't have money to fix it. I didn't have anything left. And I knew that the only way to earn money was like to ask for the people, like ask, for the job or for the opportunity and talk to people. And I just couldn't imagine myself to going with that kind of tooth, broken. And it was just like impossible. So I picked up my phone and I called my mom as the last straw, for the help and out of desperation. And she couldn't hear or understand anything. I was just like sobbing to the phone. And obviously it was a scary picture for her, hearing me just sobbing. And then I told her what happened. And she was like, do you need help? And I was like, no. And, of course, after she was like, calm down. And then when I calmed down, I got back to my sense. But at that point, I honestly thought that that was kind of like, why is it happening for me? And because I had to take that break and flew back, to my country and get all fixed, I had the time to think about things. And, sometimes when you change the environment, also perspective change.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And that was...
May I just ask you, so you had to go, so you came to London to discover the new you, but then all those things happened in London and you had to fly back to fix your tooth, right? To your country. And on the way back, it gave you I just wanted to understand like which country, where were you? Okay, so yeah, it's an interesting journey. Okay, so
and so I went back, and it was just like for a couple of days, just to have a quick fix and then came back. But those 2 days, just gave me completely different perspective about what was happening. And at that point, I realized, that when I was asking for the help came. It wasn't in the form which I was looking for, but the help came because I realized and I learned that what I was doing so far, it's actually, there was no way that actually it could work, because it doesn't work this way how I was. And before that, I was really like jumping and looking for a quick fix or a quick get rich quick scheme. And I wasn't willing, because I was afraid to commit myself to something, because I didn't believe in myself. I had so many limiting stories. So I always hiding behind something, and that I could blame others instead of putting myself and committing really into what I wanted. So for me, that was a big wake-up call, when I realized, well, if you really want to make something, you really have to put the work, commit to what you believe in, and do the work, become the expert. And that was for me when I committed to become a coach and really invested myself and time and energy into learning, how things and how the mind works, and why we're actually doing those silly decisions, which we always do, why we are jumping for the promises. And actually what really is that kind of thing that we really commit, we are willing to commit. And that's our one thing, which is, special, that our unique path. So thanks to that broken tooth, I was actually able, to come to learn big lessons and come to another clarity piece of, the piece of puzzle to put all the formula which I'm teaching others to have that clarity for themselves.
The tooth broke, but you were not broken.
Exactly. Well, I don't know whether you believe, but obviously, and I'm also like teaching my clients this, that any kind of illness or the health issue is just the symptom, and the broken teeth, they are kind of like, it was like literally like the last bite. We call it last straw.
Absolutely, yes, everything. But in the moment, and I can't agree with you more. In the moment when something happens, like when your tooth broke, right? You were sobbing on the phone with your mom, because in the moment we cannot see the blessing. It's only afterwards. But afterwards, like when the time passes, then you look back and you're like, oh, that's the best thing that happened to me, right? It's just like, for me, there's so much proof, because I do inspirational speaking for groups and do workshops also. One of my signature stories is about exactly this, how my I call it the biggest gift of my life, when my kindergarten teacher was emotionally abusing me. And in the moment, as a child, how can you take it as a blessing? Of course you can't. But many years later, you look back and, oh, she set me on the path, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because of her. And thank you so much. And now, they just release and forgive, which is not easy to do, but it's doable. It's doable if we really want to step fully into who we are. I want to get to this process, but also before we get into that question, we'll circle back to it. What's the best advice you were given, and who was your best teacher, or maybe is your best teacher in life?
Well, the best teacher is life.
Is life itself?
Yeah, the experience, and that kind of relates me to the best or worst advice. Or someone asked me this question also some time ago, and I was really thinking, because I'm open to advice, but also some part is kind of like questioning whether that's right for me or not. So I'm not sure whether any kind of like the advice was best or the worst, because I'm making my own decisions.
Yes. So you mean like you filter the information, right? Yeah. Somebody comes across and says, do it this way or be this way, and then we'll listen. And but that wisdom, have you always had that wisdom, or did you like since you were a teenager and even younger? Really?
it was kind of because we have 5 children at home and I was the middle one. So it was kind of like the lucky position, when my mom was so busy, and obviously usually like the biggest attention goes to oldest one, and they have to break all the rules for the younger one. And obviously she was like too busy, with the younger one. So I was kind of like easy child, just sleeping, and I always had that kind of freedom. And so just to really discover and just make a decision for myself. And luckily my parents, they are very, very open to it. They never, obviously they gave us the advice most of the time. At the time when they gave us, we were like against them, and we wanted to prove that we know the best. Of course, after time we realized that they were right most of the time.
Of course.
But luckily they always, guided us to make our own decisions, and live our own life, which we wanted. So for me, it was kind of like the natural path that I was able to make my own decisions.
That's beautiful, beautiful. Then my second bubble. Let me try. Any worst advice, like something that you heard from people, which is usually rooted from what was conditioned on them, right? Through others, and we take it for granted. So anything that you can just kind of share with us, something that somebody said, you took it and then you realized, no,
that's something probably which, not sure whether that's the worst advice, but probably something which I perceived that I'm stupid, because obviously, as you mentioned, I also had like the teacher from at the first year of the school, she was like very strict. And obviously I wasn't as, my perception was that I wasn't as great as my sister, which I used to compare myself. But as I discovered later on, that it wasn't about differences, it just, she had a different style. And because her strict style was punishing people, when she was kind of like beating or giving the mark 5, like being, so it left the trauma with me when I perceived that, well, I'm the stupid one, because I wasn't as good as my sister, for example, my brother, who used to excel, and always came with the mark 1, and they were like always, they used to always excel at school. So to compare to them, I was like the stupid one. So that's something which I, was carried along. But as you said, everything, like the biggest pain is our biggest blessings. And that made me why actually I'm like hardworking and really like studying and making work. So that served me really well and made me the person who I am now.
Which brings me, thank you for sharing, because the whole subject of teachers in our lives is so dear to my heart, because the teachers can either believe in you more than you believe in yourself and really make you, or they can break your spirit sometimes, right? For a long while. And I know so many people who've been affected by that. So it's just it's on my list to talk about the role of teachers, because a lot of people underestimate how much we are affected, especially if it's an authoritarian style of parenting in the house. And it depends on the culture, of course. But to me, I became a teacher, right? You are a teacher too, like coaching, mentoring, it's showing the way for others and empowering them. First of all, to me, it matters. It's not just the words. It's how do you see and hold another person who comes across your path to the highest standard and to the potential that they don't see in themselves, but you do. And it just, to me, you can either do it wholeheartedly, or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no gray area. So thank you for what you are doing. So let's get into this process.
Great.
I don't know, I would be happy if you could demonstrate for everybody, and I'm happy to be the guinea pig today.
Great.
If you want to take me as
Let's test you.
let's test me. Yes. Let's go for a test drive. Okay. So with me, Coach Martina K, here is my issue. My issue, I don't know if it's an issue or a blessing or a curse. I am very creative, and for a long time, I associated consistency with doing just one thing with the word boring. Just full transparency. Yes, so it was boring as soon as I heard, okay, I have to be consistent on social media. I have to be consistent with my posts. I have to be da 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 da. To me, in my mind, it was like equals boring, right? I can't. So, and I do in my head everything that I do. The TV show, I interview kids, I interview adults, I teach, I sing, I create custom songs for brands. I create custom songs for individuals for special occasions. Everything that I do is does involve music in the core, but there and speaking, right, on stages, doing workshops, doing masterminds for women, spiritually elevated people who want to grow their businesses. Everything in my mind is connected, and I love every single beat of it.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't sound like boring at all.
No, it doesn't. It's very colorful. It's you switch gears. I am one of those people. I know people like kind of some people, they prefer to schedule their days by one task only. Let's say Mondays, it's only interviews. Tuesday, it's only marketing, etc., etc. If I do the same type of work the whole day, I'm gonna be dead by the end of the day. I need the task switching things. Like it could be one interview, it could be writing the copy, then it will be talking to prospective customers, client, right? So what would you say? But then at the end, what's the challenge? The challenge is that you're not moving as fast as you want to because you have so many pieces on your plate.
Okay, so let's put it kind of into the limiting belief or the thought, which let me just repeat whether I got it right. So you believe that doing one task a day is boring.
Committing, I believe that committing to doing just one thing is boring. After a while, it becomes predictable. Yeah. Right? You already know what to expect. You already know the whole process, right?
Yeah.
And it becomes boring.
Okay.
There's no challenge in it. I love challenges.
Yes. Well, as a creative person, entrepreneur, we all need it.
Yes. I love challenges. I don't mean the bad challenges. I just mean stretching, growing, learning.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, great. So why do you want to change that belief or thought?
To move faster, to create, because my ultimate goal is to reach millions, billions of people with the message that you are loved, you're seen, you are heard, and you matter. And I do it through speaking voice and through singing. Whether that's in a song performance or speaking on stages, but when I speak, I sing too. I just want people to turn their attention more to the light rather than the darkness.
Yeah.
It's very different from saying fighting the darkness. It's just more about what you're paying attention to grows. That's what your work is all about. So, but in order for me to do it in a efficient, faster way, you got to commit to doing it in one, not necessarily in one outlet, but you got to be consistent with something, right?
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you, if you commit to one thing, would it be boring for you?
That after a while, if this is the only thing that I'm doing, let's say I'm only interviewing, right, or I'm only writing songs, custom songs, which I absolutely love, for leaders, for brands, right, for after a while, if I know it's going to be the same, I mean, it's going to be a different person, but the same process that I do. Yes, I will need the variety. I'm the person who needs the variety.
Yes. Okay, that's fine. And because we are not all the same, but also tell me what's like kind of like the end goal. I know that you love to inspire others, you want to empower others through the work, but what's important is that what inspires you?
What inspires me? What inspires me is people, uplifting people, uplifting people, seeing the smile, changing the mood instantly. If whether that's my own family members or my friends or my clients who are completely like, they could be very low energy when they come to me, but the constant thing that I absolutely get a kick out of is just when they leave, or even if it's a few minutes or half an hour or an hour session, they're always in a different place. They are unstuck because the energy changes, and energy is everything.
Yeah.
So
And
that's what inspires me, seeing the smiles,
yes,
on people's faces.
So when do you think you inspire people the most?
When I'm live, when I'm meaning, when I'm speaking. It's not necessarily through my when I'm writing, like I need to be on stage. I've been on stage all my life, whether that's, and it's always stories that I tell and songs that I sing, and I just put it usually in a context.
Okay. So would you say that everything what makes you alive, all these tasks which you are doing, are helping you to inspire others?
Could you repeat the question, please?
So all these tasks which you are doing are helping you to inspire others?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you really think that it's necessary to change the way how you work?
No, no. Not that I. No, I want to continue doing what I'm working because I'm loving it. It's just those pieces on the plate. I guess you just need to tackle them one at a time. One at a time.
Okay. Well, because let me just ask you again, because that's something what you really mentioned. So let me just make it clear for you, because the goal why you are doing what you are doing is to inspire others and lighten them up. But would you agree that you are the best at inspiring others when you are inspired and alive?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So why do you want to change the way you work when that makes you inspired and alive?
I want to get there. They're faster. Just meaning like how to be more efficient. I guess this would be Yeah, I know what you're getting at, and I am totally. What I need is a little bit more discipline. Just discipline and work ethic, meaning just sitting down, not switching tasks as often as I have been doing, but just completing one task that is at hand, and then moving on to another one. Probably that would be, because I don't want to change any of the pieces. That's the thing. I don't want to change. And all the coaches and all the mentors that I've had so far, they like commit to doing one thing, and I can't commit to doing one thing, because to me it's the same. It's one thing because all the pieces that I'm doing, they're working toward the same goal that I have, and the goal is the same. It never changed. It's inspiring and bringing people to the possibility of paying attention to how great they are and how wonderful life is, instead of being wrapped up in misery and watching negative news and listening to all these negative voices that there's plenty around us.
Yeah. So let me ask you one more question. Why you are so rushing? Where you are rushing?
Where am I rushing to? I'm just rushing to live.
To live. Isn't it something that you're already doing?
It's always, I am doing it. I guess I'm just beating myself up because I think I could go faster. I could go much faster than I'm doing right now. And yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good
because we have, and I know I fell into that trap as well myself. I was just posting the blog on one media as well. When I kind of realized that I moved from the career, moving the career, the corporate world, into the business trap, where I was always like pushing. And then I just had the opportunity, to sign up for the model, for the 7-figure business model. But I knew that if I really commit and, it was kind of like already tested the system and everything. And I knew if I really want and come in and just plug in and work, I would get there. But then I was asking myself, because something inside of me just said no. And I left from that call like completely confused, like, am I scared? Is it just like my limiting beliefs, or what's going on? But then I was asking myself, after doing like the reflection work and as well, I was like, what then? What will change for me if I have 7 figures? What then? Because I didn't like the way how I was working, like pushing. And then I said to myself, why, where is the time limit?
There's no time limit if you are your own business. Yes, it's not like 9 to 5.
There is, we have always that kind of like the picture that, we should move faster. Why? Who said? If already you are, because to be honest, we already have and do at our own speed, and we have and we already inspiring people as best as we can by the work we are doing.
Absolutely. You're so right. Yeah, it's just, this is one of the things that I need to just dig deeper. Or since I was a little child, I was always like, off to the next. I never gave the full credit to myself when I would achieve something. It's always like literally a half a second. Okay, it's done. And then and I had good successes, right, in my life, my personal breakthroughs. but I would never celebrate. You know, it just brings me to the question of celebrations, right?
Yeah.
We underestimate it. Yeah, we're like, okay, well, go, 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 go. And there's no stopping. But life is all about celebrating. You know what I'm learning? Do you have any animals in the house? I mean, in your space? No.
No, I don't have animals. No.
Oh, I never had, I mean, I had dogs. I'm from Russia originally. And right now, here in the United States, where I am, my children wanted the dog. And because of my lifestyle, I could never, I'm like, who is going to be, because it's a responsibility, who is going to be walking? And I sometimes, before pandemic, I was traveling a lot. Now, Martina, when we got the dog in COVID, I am learning literally, you just reminded me again, just to be in the moment, because the dog wakes up and ready to play. It doesn't matter. There's no depression, there's no sadness, there's no, unless it's, you know, like a illness or something. But they're ready to play. And this playfulness during the day, I'm like, it's fascinating. I'm just watching and observing her. Her name is Luna. And it's just like, this is what life is all about. We're supposed to play. So thank you for this beautiful reminder. Guys, I hope it was really helpful for you to see how Martina's process is working. Yeah, because she was challenging me with questions. Now I'm ready to, I'm a meditator, so I will be just going deeper with searching for what's, yeah, what like how to give myself permission to appreciate and be in the moment more and not to rush, just like you said. Yeah, what's the rush? Thank you for those questions and for the clarity. By the way, could you tell everybody about that? I believe you created the videos, right, as a clarity tool for people who would like to take advantage of it. Please tell.
So I was already talking about a clarity formula, which I created. And of course, the video, you know, kind of like the free training and free challenge is already uploaded and ready for any kind of viewers and clients to grab it. It's free and it's on my website. So, and all exercises are there, all instructions are there. So all you have to do, you know, just listen and follow the instructions. And then to get the feedback and everything, you know, feel free to get in touch and you will get a free consultation to get all that clarity. But all this challenge is already done, you know, the way that it will help you if you do the work.
Absolutely. Could you share the people you work? You mostly work with women, right?
Yes.
So any like success stories from your past clients or existing clients that you can share? What did you help them with? Any breakthrough stories could you share? Because it's always inspiring to hear what other people are experiencing.
Yeah. Well, the first, probably the client, and it was kind of my friend as well, who inspired me, you know, to really step up with this work, because we were working together for some time and we were just, she was at the a moment of life at crossroads when, you know, she was also kind of figuring out what's next for her in with her work. So when we got in touch, I was kind of like sharing with her just what I learned and, you know, my kind of like the lessons. And as she was learning and applying all of it, you know, and getting into the work and just getting more knowledge and discovering more about herself, then she realized that she always wanted, she got back, she completely changed her kind of lifestyle, started with the food, with the eating. She got back to exercising more and she discovered yoga. And
Wow.
so she really mastered that path, and obviously, and because it's not her career yet, because she's still got family, you know, and it takes a while because it's the process to make it like financially work. So she's still mastering that while she's working in her work. But what's the most important, that she find the peace within herself. And that kind of the clarity which she had about herself, that helped her to completely transform her relationship with her husband and the children. And just imagine, you know, what kind of change it's kind of like transforming when you have a completely new outlook, and it's like have an impact on all people around you, and kind of every mother is, you know, bringing out and the new generation for people, you know, and creating kind of like the new world already.
Yeah.
So that's just one example. Another one, for example, is the lady, the client who she had a full-time job and obviously was already on her transition journey. She wanted to create a passive income, and she didn't have the clarity on what kind of path or what exactly was her thing, you know, to commit to and make it work. And so she was jumping from one thing to another. And still like mother, you know, she was also had a family and amazing husband, but she was beating up herself, you know, what many of us are doing, women, you know, just committing when we are not working, or you know, having that negative voice when we are with family and thinking, oh, we should work, you know, and there is still something. So that's kind of like the inner critic. So after we find, you know, get the clarity on her path, she completely change, get the clarity, and get rid of other projects which were not on her path. And so now she's happy with her present with her family. When she's with her family, she's there for them, enjoying their time. She also cleared out any kind of the past relationships and which were holding her back, you know, from the family, from the childhood. And that helped her to see how wonderful and how actually the pain was helping her to create that new business. And especially she lost weight, you know, just changing that perception and change the perception about herself, the self-image. So just two examples, for example, but I know kind of short on time. So obviously more testimonials on my website if people
Of course, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing it all with us. So we are, the show is coming to an end, and it's been my pleasure to have you and talk with you today on the show. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for demonstrating your process and helping me and guiding me through my own challenges. And I'm telling you, it's been very, very helpful, because sometimes, guys, we just need someone who knows what they're doing, like Martina, in this case, Martina K. And that's enough to start your thinking, right? To just get your thinking going, but thinking is not doing it. I would say I need to journal. If you some people, but it could be a different outlet. Some people need to dance it out, some people need to sing it out, right? So whatever the process, for some people need to take a long walk in the wilderness. That also helps, like you said, Martina. Change in the environment sometimes is a great way. For me, for sure, when I write my songs, I usually travel, and as I'm traveling in the car, and it could be a long drive, the song lines start downloading in my head, or it comes in meditation. So different forms. So thank you for inspiring and helping out with that. So before we finish, any other words of wisdom for our listeners and people who are going to be watching in replay?
Probably just the last thing, which I definitely is my inner guidance, is, all answers which we are looking for are within us. So just listen to your body. Your body is connected to your soul, to the universe, and is giving you the guidance. So connect to it, listen to your heart, and all answers are there.
Beautiful. If you guys have questions for Martina or myself, your website again, Martina, is aboutmartinak.com. And the link is going to be underneath this video on Facebook, Hummingbird Academy today, also on YouTube. It's basically SHpits. YouTube, Dream Big with Zhanna. You can, in Martina K, you will see us over there. So if you have questions, please by no means ask the expert, Martina. So we would love to hear from you. What is one or two or three takeaways from today's conversation? Did anything inspire you? What exactly inspired you? And what is your next step in your life is going to be? So connect with us. And before we end, you've been watching and listening to Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life. Until next time, and just stay inspired and take the inspired action. Martina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone for watching, for listening, and sending you a lot of love.
Oh, thank you.